Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ecospacegy Talkshow. In this talk show, we aim to showcase Guyanese youths making waves in the environmental realm throughout Guyana. And today I have with me Miss Maryam Bacchus, a passionate young lady who has been very innovative in the fight against plastic pollution. So I will allow her to introduce herself and tell us a bit about her passions before we get into today's topic.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Ms. Sofane. I'm 22 years old and I've always been interested in technology. I love it. I even studied it at the University of Guyana, got my bachelor's there. And I work now in the field of technology, but I'm a multi-passionate person. I believe that people can have more than one passion. My other passion is my love for the environment and all things natural. I believe what really drove home my endearment for the environment was looking at National Geographic documentaries. When I was small, it would be showing on Channel 7 and, seeing how the wild animals lived in their natural habitats, their importance, and I really felt the need to protect them and to be involved in their protection and conservation.
Yes, and you see, I really wanted her to showcase her multifaceted passions because as we delve into the topic of today, I would like you to just focus on this one passion, the passion for the fight against plastic pollution and to raise awareness. That is one of the passions I've noted Maryam for having, as I would have featured her on my talk show that I had when I was a University of Guyana student, and we spoke about the fight for plastic pollution, and she was really passionate about raising awareness about this topic. So let's go into how you got involved, aside from being this tech savvy person to being this person who really wants to help in the fight against plastic pollution.
I believe it was a gradual thing. Like I said, I grew up having a love for the environment, and from there I would attend meetings about, conserving the environment, stuff hosted by the EPA, those little things that would have motivated me to do more and to be more involved.
Yes, and you see, I always love to hear persons' origin stories when it comes to environmental awareness and when they became environmentally aware. As many of us really started from a tender age and it really grew on us. And as we want to mesh that, the awareness and the passion for that with your love for technology that you focus your studies on, what role do you think technology plays in helping to combat plastic pollution?
Oh, technology can play a pivotal role in combating plastic pollution. Right now, we're seeing technology making strides in different fields, like in the field of engineering, for example. We have these inventions that can actually replace single-use plastics with other alternatives, like bamboos, for example, or there's this little invention where they made a plastic-like material from the waste of shrimp. So all those things can really help us shift towards not using plastics, but something else. Additional to that, there's also the software aspect of elimination of plastic pollution.
Yes.
So, right.
The fun part.
Yes, the fun part. So right now in recycling plants, you have the use of AI. They're using in those sorting machines at those factories to be able to sort plastics into their correct categories so that it can be recycled effectively. There's also satellites being used, satellite imagery, to be able to track ocean pollution. You can track ocean pollution with plastics and microplastics and so on. Those provides really data-driven information on how to solve this crisis.
Yeah. So AI is not just ChatGPT to help you with assignments, young people. AI can actually help to fight against plastic pollution. There are many different ways that she's mentioned when it comes to technology. Many persons actually say that technology can be one of the key drivers of the environmental movement to actually save us when it comes to the consequences. So what I really want to focus on for this interview is a project that Maryam has had and something she has done that has really set her aside when it comes to someone who loves the environment and loves technology. So can you tell us about this app you have, tell me if I'm right, the Litter Bug app?
Oh, it's called Litter Reporta.
Litter Reporta.
Yes, it's a little bit acrylic.
Yes, Litter Reporta. So tell me about this app, creating the concept for this app, and how you really merged your love for the environment and technology.
Okay, so going back to my origin story now, I believe it was in 2019, a group of my friends got together and we decided to just go and pick up garbage, have our little cleanup events. And, that got me thinking, how can we do a more streamlined and more organized process to this entire thing? How can we actually track our impact or track our progress? And that birthed the idea of Litter Reporta, a data-driven app of managing solid waste or managing cleanup events in Guyana.
Yeah, so we have the Litter Reporta app created by Maryam Bacchus, and of course you've had some help along the way, and how your team and made by a young person for the entirety of Guyana. And I really want us to focus on the origin story of the app too. So it's not the case that she was just home thinking, let me just create something to get the extra grades at UG. No, she created something because she saw an issue. She saw an issue and she wanted to apply her knowledge and her expertise to help tackle that problem. And so can you tell us a little bit more about this app? How do you use it? Where can we find it? How can we download it?
Okay, so it's available for iOS and Android. You can download it on the Play Store or App Store. Search for Litter Reporta, that's LITTAREPORTA. You can go and simply download it. It has a whale logo. Once you download it, you can register on the application and it will allow you to do a few things. One, you will see that it has sort of like a Facebook layout. You're able to make a post about a litter that you see or a garbage dump site, something that is unpleasant to look at in your environment, in your community. You can just snap a picture of that and post it on the application. Now, in that, it enables other people to have insights on solid waste issues in Guyana. You can also, there's an event section where if you're feeling quite ambitious, you can create a cleanup event to actually deal with that issue right in the application. So it's kind of a tool to enable you, to empower you to not just complain about an issue, let's say, or bring light to an issue, but to also action that issue.
Yeah, action. It's all about action. I think they had started, there was a challenge started that said, not my trash, but my plants. So we understand the issues that come with just picking up garbage, but we still understand the dangers of having this garbage within the environment. So we are not just complaining about it, we are trying to actively show persons that the difference can be made by a group of persons. And as we collaborate, as we have these partnerships, as we bring persons into movements using technology, we can be able to reach a wider group of persons as the app is open and accessible to all.
Yes. Correct.
So there's no excuse.
Right.
So now, as we state, we're doing the cleanups, we have the app Help Me to Report. So what is the overall goal when it comes to fighting plastic pollution with the app? You raise awareness, you also have the activities you can have. But when you look back in the next, you normally give yourself about 5 years when it comes to these things, what is the overall goal when it comes to combating plastic pollution for you?
Okay, so there is a data-driven aspect of it, being able to do analysis on this data to see exactly what exactly that you've done within this past 5 years, how many litters, how many garbage dump sites you've been able to actively clean. Plus, something that I did not mention is that there's a recycling aspect within this application.
I don't forget that part. I forgot, yeah, so tell me.
Yes, so this recycling aspect, it enables you to not just have plastics be recycled, but any other domestic waste that you have within your home, you can put that up in the application. You can think of it as a barter kind of system. If I have, let's say, something that is of use to someone else, like an old cupboard or something, someone else can use the application, look at that and say that, okay, I want to upsell this whole cupboard or do something, this transform it into something else. It kind of enables that collaboration between persons who have things to give away and persons who would like to use that thing rather than it being in the landfill.
Yeah, as we can tell in the 3 R's together, reuse, reduce,
And recycle. Yes.
So this app allows you to really drive home these 3 R's. Right? As we just go together, reuse, reduce,
and recycle.
So the Litter Reporta app allows you to really be able to do those 3 R's while reporting, while collaborating. And it's such as I think the app really represents the creator, a multifaceted person creating a multifaceted app. So it's really ideal. As you said, coupled with using your app, right? How do you think young people, especially in Guyana, can join the fight to raise awareness about the dangers of littering? Because this is a cultural problem. We can agree.
Correct.
It's a cultural problem. It's a cultural problem in Guyana. And the streets of the once Guyana city is now littered with garbage. And this is not to blame. You cannot blame anybody higher up, as we love to do when it comes to in this part of the world. Look at the government and say, this is us. This is the citizens doing this. We are actively dumping and soiling our environment that we have to live in, that we have to interact in. Our leaders are not walking through the streets of Regent Street every day. We are. So how do you think your app can help to raise awareness about the littering issue in Guyana?
So what I've noticed is that there are a lot of people who are still in denial about this being an actual issue. And the beauty of my application, it enables data-driven insights into this actual problem. So you just can't say that this doesn't exist because I have the data to actually prove it. Now with that data, you have the data, you can bring solutions about that data. Data is so important in crafting the correct solution to actually deal with a problem. So I believe in that way.
Yeah, and I will say that data is something big that we have not focused on a lot in Guyana. When any UG student, University of Guyana student, doing a project will tell you that data is always lacking when it comes to Guyana. We don't know a lot about Guyana. So if we have technologies like Maryam's that can allow us to gather data, especially about pertinent topics like plastic pollution, climate change, solid waste management, we allow ourselves to have a baseline to know that we have an issue of littering in this community. It has been proven. Here are the photos, here are the documents, here is the data to show. And now we can go and say we have to have a project. So they cannot say, no, it isn't the issue, when we have the facts, the data, the information to prove it. And that's why we need persons like Maryam to come up with these in innovative ways to show persons there's an issue. We have to tackle it, and this is how we do it. This is one of the solutions. Coupled with raising awareness, coupled with collaboration, we can be able to actually bridge the gap between wanting a better clean environment and having a better, cleaner environment, a cleaner Georgia, a cleaner Guyana. As we, young people, are the ones who are going to inherit this wonderful land, all 83,000 square miles of it, and as we still hope to have some form of intergenerational help. And we still want for the older person to see that young people have certain solutions that you may not have thought of, as I oftentimes have to teach my grandparents how to use simple apps, and how for them to even understand we can create apps on our own to tackle issues will be amazing to them. So as we deal with that, even when it comes to intergenerational partnerships, if they cannot be a part part of it when it comes to the coding and so on, even the funding to make it better. We're always open to that. And even with my episode today that is sponsored by one of my lecturers, Mr. Hamer, Sian Hamer, and I spoke to him. He is always one to help to encourage young people to be a part and do more. As Maryam is doing more, I'd like her to give us some parting words and tell us how we can stay positive in a time filled with pollution. How can we stay upbeat, and how you would say your app would help us to really regain a hope in seeing a cleaner, better Guyana?
So with everything that's going on in the world right now, with ecosystems actually dying out, with species becoming critically endangered, it's very easy to have negative thoughts about it, saying that, oh, the world is dying. But something that we have to keep in mind is that we are creative, we are brilliant, we are problem solvers. The youth of today can do so much more to better the future. We have to understand that the world today may belong to the older folks who would have gotten the world to this place, but the future is ours, and we have the ability to craft our own future in the way that we see fit.
Yes. And with that, I'd like to say thank you to Ms. Bacchus for joining us, and be sure to download the Litter Reporta app on Android and iOS and join the fight against plastic pollution. Thank you. See you again.